Hi, everybody. I'm Brittany Lewis with Forbes Breaking News. Joining me now is senior sports money reporter Justin Birnbaum. Justin, thanks for joining me once again.
Thank you for having me, Britt.
Forbes just came out with a list of the world's highest soccer players. Before we dive into it, just cut to the chase. Who's number one?
So that honor belongs this year to Cristiano Ronaldo, who regains it again after being on top of this list in 2021. We project his earnings for the upcoming season to be a total of $260 million. That's $200 million on the field, thanks to his Saudi Pro League contract, and $60 million off the field in endorsements, marketing, all different kinds of endeavors. What's interesting about him is he really kind of kicked off this exodus to Saudi Arabia. Now we see this wave of talent and this wave of spending heading there. And he was really the first top star earlier this year to do that. Obviously, you know, he's arguably the most famous athlete in the world. He's over 600 million Instagram followers. So the Saudi Pro League knew what they were doing in getting a star like that, even if he is at the tail end of his career. But what's interesting is, you know, when you see outsized wages like that on the field, you know, you kind of wonder a little bit. And in order to kind of afford him and subsidize his wages, you know, the club he's with, Al Nassr, facilitated commercial agreements to help boost his pay. So yeah, he's number one.
I want to get into the trend of players going to the Saudi Pro League, but before we do that, who else from the league made the list?
So there were 4 players playing in the Saudi Pro League that made the list this year. Obviously, we mentioned Ronaldo. Then at number 3 was Neymar, who jumped over to Al Hilal. At number 5 is Karim Benzema. And then at number 8 is Sadio Mane.
Justin, you and I have actually talked about this trend of the Saudis pouring money into live golf. Now we're seeing an uptick of Saudis pouring money into soccer. Can you explain why?
Yeah, so it's not necessarily a new development, just kind of bringing it to their domestic league has kind of been the turn that we've seen this year, because the Saudis do own a Premier League team in Newcastle United. So what's interesting is, you mentioned it, we saw it with Live Golf, where they poured in a lot of money to disrupt the golf landscape. And now with soccer, they're trying to build this destination league. They went out and got Ronaldo. Obviously, it's really shaken things up the way the soccer world has operated. I mean, the kingdom really has grand sporting ambitions, and they're involved in a number of different things. You know, part of that is they want to diversify their economy away from oil, and that's kind of the line that they've said over and over again. Others have accused them of sports washing their human rights record. And, you know, what's interesting is that, you know, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman recently did an interview with Fox News, and he basically, you know, the interview had asked, you know, what do you say to people accusing you of sports washing? And I'm paraphrasing, but he said, I'll keep sports washing if it raises my GDP. So the Saudis really, really are interested in, you know, investing in the sports world. In the most recent summer transfer window, they spent Saudi clubs, I should say, spent over $1 billion to acquire 94 players, and that includes these stars. That doesn't include the reported $1 billion packages they went after Mbappe and Messi with. But yeah, they're not shy about peddling cash, and you know, they want to change the way things are done.
What I'm hearing from you is billion with a B. $1 billion deals are huge. How unprecedented is this? Have we ever seen anything like this?
I mean, again, you know, we just saw with Live Golf over the last few years kind of this outpouring of money. You know, you think about like Phil Mickelson got a $200 million guarantee. Dustin Johnson got a $125 million guarantee. They were pouring billions into Live Golf. You know, the $1.1 billion they supposedly offered Kylian Mbappe, part transfer fee, part a 1-year salary for him, is kind of insane. And also, you know, the reported $1.6 billion they offered Messi to come play in their league is another outrageous number. I mean, these are astronomical salaries that we've never seen before. And obviously the reason, you know, Ronaldo's on top of this list and why the list is kind of up so much is because of these outsized Saudi paydays.
I want to talk about another comparable storyline, and that's the Chinese Super League. And you're looking at this as a kind of cautionary tale. Can you dive in there?
Yeah, so 7-ish years ago, the Chinese Super League really started upping its spending on players internationally and bringing in lots of talent. In 2016, 2017, they spent over $1 billion on transfers. They brought in stars like Oscar, Hulk, Carlos Tevez. And what they wanted to do was they wanted to bring in these stars, raise the profile of the league. You know, there's a lot encouraging for global investment in soccer all over the place too. And what ended up happening is it just proved not to be a sustainable economic model. I mean, the economy faltered, investors and sponsors dried up. Eventually, COVID hit, and that really changed everything and pushed things in the wrong direction. You know, the good comparable thing is, you know, the Saudis spent close to $1 billion in transfer fees in that last window. In that 2-year period, the Chinese Super League did. But in 2022, the Chinese Super League spent something like just shy of 30 million in transfer fees. So obviously, you know, they've severely walked back spending since then.